What's up, YouTube? What's up, my Raider Nation? Hell of a Sunday game against New Orleans Saints. That was one of the most entertaining games I've seen for a season opener for my Raiders. You know, I'm baffled, from beginning to end. But I was gonna start out with analyzing the game from the beginning, but let's just go to the main event, which everybody is talking about in Raiderland, which everybody is talking about in the whole public, the whole social media, everywhere. They're talking about the cojones that Captain Jack had to go for two. Now, let me tell you what was going through my mind after they scored. When we were driving down for the what I thought was going to be the game-tying drive. First off, I'm like, man, Seth Roberts, how are you going to drop that? But before that, when it was the pass to Jalen Richard, I was like, no. But I looked at the defender. He didn't turn his head back. So we had a pass interference. Whew, thank God he didn't turn his head back, because if he did, we might have gone home with the L. But anyway, Seth Roberts atones. He spins in off 2 tackles, gets a touchdown, redeeming himself. And I'm sitting here like, okay, I'm at Old Chicago watching the game with a couple of friends. And I'm sitting there saying, okay, whew, Derek Carr, you've been clutch. Offense has been clutch all second half. Whew, we're going to go for overtime. Let's go, guys. Let's go. All of a sudden, I see Derek Carr going. I'm like, what's he got his hands up for? What? He's not going for 2, is he? He's going for 2. Oh, my God. No, don't go for 2. Don't go for 2. All of a sudden, a timeout happens. I'm like, whew. Okay, thank God. Thank God. The sidelines, Captain Jack, he said, you know what, let's think some things over. Let's focus. Let's testosterone might have been a little too high. We probably weren't thinking clearly. So I'm like, okay, I'm relaxed. Whew. I turn around, finish eating some food, and I look back. The offense is going back on the field. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Nervous. I'm standing up, watching TV. I'm like, oh my God, please no. Don't do this. All of a sudden, lines up, and Derek Carr doesn't even look to anybody else in the field. He looking at Crabtree. And as most of you guys know, throwing fades to Crabtree hasn't really been all that successful. Just look back at the 49ers against the Seahawks, or the Ravens again in the Super Bowl. The history hasn't been good throwing it to him. And I'm just like, oh my God, please come down with it. I noticed he had position. All of a sudden, it was contested position though. And all of a sudden, Crabtree gets it. It looked like one hand at first. I was like, oh, get him, Crabtree, come down with it. Don't bobble. All of a sudden, he gets the 2-point conversion. It's good. I'm sitting here like, oh my God. I almost did a cartwheel, bro. And I'm sitting here like, the balls it takes to make that call. Not once, but twice. After you call a timeout. Whoo, Captain Jack. You live on top of the world now. Nobody's got more courage than you, because everybody, if you had missed that, if Derek Carr didn't convert, or Crabtree doesn't catch that pass, whoo, I don't even want to know what the national pundits would have said, what social media would have said. I don't even want to think, but to sit there and say, who cares what they think? We go for the win. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's a great call. That's a great call, Captain Jack. Notice how I'm saying that after we converted. I'm not gonna lie, because I would have been kind of salty if we didn't convert. I'm like, we had a chance to play for overtime. But then I was thinking about that move after the game, after the emotions kind of wore down, and I was thinking, that was probably the smart move, because our defense, with the exception of a couple of drives, we haven't been able to stop them, especially in the second half, where they were just marching up and down the field. So it was a smart, ballsy call by Captain Jack, because if we go to overtime and we lose a coin toss and it goes to Drew Brees, we probably, I don't know. I don't know if we get the ball. I don't know if we get the W. So I was like, thinking back on it, Hindsight 2020, of course. I like the aggressiveness of it. I like the fact that he said, you know what? We're not the same old Raiders. We're going to go for the win. And I liked it. Now that we got the big play out, I gotta give major props to, because outside of Jack Del Rio and Derek Carr and Crabtree getting the game ball and Amari Cooper, you gotta give a game ball to Mike Tice, because it seemed like throughout the game, everybody in the offensive line was getting hurt from right to left, and oh my God, we were so deep, and then all of a sudden we were so paper thin, and everybody switched sides. Asomale, I'm probably butchering his name. He moved over to tackle. Donald Penn moved over to right tackle. And we didn't miss a beat. You know, people had to switch over in the guards position, but we did not miss a beat. The offense did not miss a beat, and that is a testament to the depth that we have and the coaching. And Mike Tice deserves a game ball, because Derek Carr, when he didn't miss a beat, he had to get those possessions to come back from 14 points down. We scored 14 points in the second half. That was huge. The offensive line didn't lose us the game. So kudos to Mike Tice. That was a great pickup. I liked him when we picked him up from I believe he's with the Falcons, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he was with the Falcons as a coach. But that was a huge pickup. Offense looked good. Latavius Murray, I thought he ran with power and decisiveness. Jalen Richard, excuse me. Whoo! You know, I was in my preseason video, I was kind of salty that George Atkinson III didn't make it, because I thought he was just a big play waiting to happen. But I'm glad that I don't know what I'm talking about. I'll shut up, because Jalen Richard, whoo, you know, he can catch. He showed some burst and some power. I was like, oh, is that MJD? Is that Maurice Jones-Drew out here in his prime? So I'll shut up about GA3. Go all hell Richard right now. You know, he was huge. He had a couple of big catches as well. 75-yard touchdown on your first carry. That's something special. He'll probably never forget that. I know I won't. But the running game seemed to be smooth. Like I said earlier, Latavius Murray was huge. Jamize, the fullback, can't remember his last name. Actually, I can't pronounce it, to be honest with you, which is sad. I'll work on that for the next video. He had a great goal line punch-in touchdown, so that was huge. The defense. Let's talk about that defense. The defense got lit up. I'm not gonna lie. They got lit up. It was a walkthrough for Drew Brees for most of the game, with the exception of the fumble that was caused by Bruce Irvin and a couple of sacks here and there. The defense was getting worked hard. And everyone's going to talk about Sean Smith getting benched. And honestly, and I said this in my preview video for this game, the one guy who I was afraid of for us to guard was Brandon Cooks, because Brandon Cooks is under 6 feet. I believe he's like 5'9", maybe 5'8", 5'9", somewhere in there. And he's quick. And he's got world-class speed. Most of our corners are 6'2" and up. Actually, I think Sean Smith is 6'2", 6'3", 220, 225. He has no chance against a guy like that. That shifty, that quick. So I thought that was a mismatch to begin with, and I thought they took advantage, especially on that 98-yard touchdown pass. And you know, I think when you going on from here, I think honestly Sean Smith's going to be a lot better, because they're going to be more bigger receivers for him to body up. But it was a mismatch to even put him on Brandon Cooks. And then Snead, the fourth, oh my God. He had a career day. But all in all, we came out with a W. We're going to tighten some things up. I know some people out there and a lot of pundits are out there saying, man, the defense looked terrible. And we did. But let's not forget who we went up against. There's a reason why Drew Brees has the record for most opening day 300-yard passing games. There's a reason why he has, I believe, the most records for 300-yard passing games. I mean, it's not like he just does this to the Raiders. He does this to everybody. You know, so I'm not too worried about it, because we're not going to go against Drew Brees for 15 more weeks. So I'm not really worried about that from that point of view. But there are some things we have to tighten up. Tackling has to be better. The penalties, 14 penalties. A couple of them were against DJ Hayden, and I thought some of them were a little iffy. You could have let him play on some of those PIs that he got. But all in all, a great team effort. This was a game that in years past we lose this game, especially being down 14 points. Maybe if we were down by 3 or 4 or maybe even 7 points, we find a way to come back and win, but not down 14 points to a world-class quarterback. So I thought we took a huge step. The Raiders took a huge step in finding ways to win when everything is kind of going against you, a.k.a. the defense get lit up. So this is a huge step forward, and I love the call. Hindsight 2020, plus we converted, so I'm really happy about that. Going for the win as opposed to a tie. Huge. Great first win of the season, and hopefully we can build up on this against the Atlanta Falcons next week. So tell me what you guys think. Do you think we got lucky in that game? Do you think it was a great call to go for the 2-point conversion, go for the win? Or do you think, we got lucky and we probably should have lost that game? Tell me what you guys think. Tell me what you guys think of the defense. Do you think it was more of a product of Drew Brees being that great, or the defense just has to work out some things? Let me know. Leave comments. And always, thank you for watching. And please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Letterer Sports Show. I'm out. Woo! Captain Jack, baby. Direct that pearl. Direct the black pearl, baby. Direct it. Direct us.